Do you think it's possible for one of these cards to travel inside my mouth without you noticing? Let's try it. Pay close attention. You've noticed, right? It seems senseless, impossible. How can you make the card travel to your mouth surrounded by people? However, Juan Tamariz discovered a secret that has to do with your feet and will allow you to do it. Let's see it. You are about to see how all these people surrounding Pablo Costas will not notice everything I just showed you. Notice a chosen card, which is in the middle of the deck, is also signed in this case, and they themselves place it surrounded by people 360 degrees. Pay attention.
Now everything is lost. The card is not on top, but the moment you snap, go ahead. The card hears it and see why it's incredible. Again. Okay, wait. It's just that there you see the card is very ambitious and suddenly chooses a place no one knows. But it's so incredible that you can do this. Look, boom. Very good. Because if you look, boom. Not only that, but in the mouth, there is a card that is precisely the card he chose.
Spectacular. And you will be able to achieve all of this if you follow the steps that Juan Tamariz is going to teach you. You might think the reason no one noticed how I folded the card into 4 and put it in my mouth is because Pablo and I know some kind of super advanced and complex technique that we're very skilled with our hands, and that's why we perform that technique in complete secrecy. But it's completely untrue. It was something we came up with that very day and managed to do without practicing. Literally, Pablo gave me the card, I folded it into 4 pieces, and while everyone was surrounding Pablo from all sides, looking at the deck barely 20 centimeters away, no one noticed it, creating a super magical moment. However, while this is happening, I know that you are trying to perform some tricks where, for example, you make a coin disappear. You get very nervous, and for some reason everyone knows that when it disappears, it's actually in the other hand. And this has to do with your gestures, something that starts from the feet. Because in the end, when you try to hide something, you make it more visible. Because your body speaks more than your words. And if your words say that the coin has disappeared, but your body is there tense, nervous, rigid, with your hands very close together to try to hide that coin, even if you say one thing, the spectator will see another. Not by your words, but by your body, and that starts with the position of your legs. When you're going to perform magic, watch yourself, record yourself, or stand in front of a mirror. Your position, feet relaxed at a 45-degree angle, as Juan Tamariz says in his book on the 5 magic points. It's super important, but not just the feet. The knees, the hips, the body, and all our gestures. It's something we might not stop to think about when we're practicing or learning a trick, but it's the most important thing. Because if you put a mirror and start practicing the same technique 200 times, but only focusing on the technical part of the fingers, without realizing that your shoulders are tense, that your hands look like a T-Rex, they're stuck here, then you'll never manage to fool the audience, because the hands won't deceive them, your whole body will. And that is the main lesson you should take from Juan Tamariz, that the gestures of your body are what will convince the viewer of the magic you are creating. And you not only have to practice the technical part locked in your room, but record yourself, stand up, and rehearse in a real situation, noticing everything from the position of your left big toe to how your gaze is set, because your gaze is the beacon that will guide the audience's attention. And before moving on to see how I did the folded card trick, I want us to look at some of these concepts explained by Juan Tamariz himself to improve this gesturality. For example, the concept of sun and shadow, meaning where our sun is, the place where all the attention is, and where our shadow is, the place where we do the tricky parts that we don't want the audience to see. If we place a deck of cards in this position, we lean towards it, we are talking to the viewer in this entire area. This is the sun zone, where people will focus and pay attention to. You don't want to do tricky things there. You want the hidden coin to be out of that field of view. Here is where the interactions with the spectator are happening, the ones we want them to see. For example, in Pablo Costas's effect, it's where we draw attention, where everyone is looking at the deck, where they think the inserted card is going. And the shadow in this case is me back there, folding the card and putting it in my mouth. Another super important thing is the rhythm. We will see it now in Juan Tamariz's video, but when we try to do something sneaky, we shouldn't do it quickly, because even if the technique is perfect, the rhythm and that gesture of speed in movements give us away. We want the movements to be natural, for us to transition the coin from one position to another, but in a relaxed, natural way without hunching over or rushing to make that coin disappear. And lastly, once you have made the coin disappear, do not rush to get rid of it. When you have the coin hidden, you must know how to hold that position. Whatever your position, calmly, staring at the audience, continuing with your presentation, or receiving applause because the effect is over. Do not rush to take that hand to your pocket to dispose of the coin, because then you will mess it up. So one of the main problems people have when they start in the world of magic is the feeling of guilt, that the trick burns them. So let's see how some of these things are applied in practice. This routine is a step-by-step where Juan Tamariz has 3 large coins in one hand, 3 large coins in the other hand, and they travel. And then in the middle, there is a small coin that he has asked the spectator to consider as their sun, their point of focus, which will allow him to perform techniques in the shadow without being noticed. Also, stay until the end because there is an amazing moment where you literally believe that the coins are inside his hand because Tamariz truly believes it, but in reality, they are not. Let's watch it.
And 1, 2, and 3 big ones in the left hand. Is this true or not? And the small one, Emilio, which he very clearly placed in the right hand.
Did you see what just happened? He did exactly what we said not to do. Quick movements, but he did it knowingly because Tamariz is a master of misdirection and knows that if he makes a move like that, people will suspect. But in this case, he does it because he wants them to suspect. And that's the good thing. Once you master the tools that allow you to deceive the viewer, you can use them however you want. But first you have to learn them well. So in this case, the viewer is obviously doubting. And he knows it, and it's part of the effect, and it's what will allow him to cover the trick later. You'll see.
What do you mean? What doubts? What doubts? I said it was in the right hand. You think it's in the left. Emilio, what a big thing. Earlier I tricked you a little with words. You fell for it. Logically, everyone who comes out falls for it. And now I said it correctly, because now in the left hand there are only 3. I said it was in the right hand, and it's in the right hand.
I don't know if you just saw it. Those of you who know a bit about how this effect works, you know if something just happened. But if you look at his gestures, where he's looking, we have said that the gaze is the beacon of attention. And who meets the viewer while doing this look, the rhythm he follows, it doesn't go with. Now that he's about to do the trick, he's not in any kind of hurry. He's relaxed, talking to the viewer so that his eyes serve as a beacon in complete naturalness.
So I said it right because
and shows
now it has
3
shown me
coins
the
on one
intention.
side. And while he speaks to the viewer, he is doing his trick behind the scenes.
But you can clearly see where it is.
With a
The
little
small
one.
It's in the right hand. So there are 4 in the right hand and only 3 in the left hand. Look closely, I pick up the 3.
Now pay attention also to that physicality, where they are looking, where they are focusing attention, where they want the audience to focus. It doesn't matter if you don't understand the exact technique being used, because I won't explain it here, but something did happen at that moment, where they were looking, where their sun was, where their shadow was, where their gestures were. Now they do shrug their shoulders a bit. Shrug a little, focus that tension in his hand because he wants there to be tension. You don't want that tension when something secret is happening, but maybe yes at the moment when something magical is going to happen, like Pablo Costas's effect, when everyone was paying attention to the deck because you wanted to focus there while you were doing the trick somewhere else. Same here, notice how it focuses.
So the 3 from the left hand, I place them on the table. Keep your eyes on them. I lift the sleeve so you don't think something is coming through the sleeve or something.
See how it isolates.
The 4th?
Let's be clear.
The other 4 we throw like this, under the table. But don't lose sight of those 3. Under the table, I tap the 3 on top and say 1, 2, and 3. And sometimes it happens that the 3 coins disappear from here.
But notice how it really seems like he has the coins. I mean, he believes it himself. It's what I've told you. Your body speaks more than your words. So there Tamariz believes that the coins are inside. Look at how he moves them. There you see how it seems like he places them carefully because he has them in his hand. But in reality, he has nothing. That is super important. And many times you don't think about that when practicing, and that's the mindset change I want you to make. Don't just focus on the trick, on the technique, but also on the gestures.
3 coins disappear from here.
And now we're going to do what I really like.
And it goes through the table. Hey, look, feel, touch, that there's nothing. Well, in view of the fact that it worked, if you want, I'll repeat it once so you can see, because many of you might be wondering, how is it possible that the little tamarind, which is me, how is it possible that I took 3 coins in the right hand, 3 in the left, then carried 3, that before I took 1 here, that I clearly placed like now.
Again makes that distraction, but he had already done the trick before. Again, I'm not going to reveal the technique, you can watch it several times if you know it. But the good thing is the timing and rhythm he had when he did the real trick, which made it seem like nothing was happening, that he was completely relaxed and natural. And when there's no trick happening, in fact, he already has everything prepared. He makes a deceiving move so that people suspect that moment and pay attention where he wants them to focus. But no, from there, everything is done. So,
in the right hand, right? Clearly.
Yeah, but you're making a face that...
I am not cheating. When I say in the right hand, it's truly in the right hand, it's not in the left hand. I say this because many times, when things like this are said, it gives the impression that it's not. And no, look, very clear, you can see it clearly, right? Look closely, I'm going to take the 3 from the left and place them like this. I'm going to take the 4 from the right. Do not lose sight, 3 on top and 4 at the bottom, like this, until the last moment. And they go under the table. And what I did before, I'm going to try to do now, which is to give a tap, 1
look at
passes.
the hand.
I give another tap, 2 pass. I give another tap.
Like it's hard for him.
No, only 2. Well, 2. No, wait. 2. Yes, of course, and all the coins pass.
Don't tell me it didn't seem like the coins were there and that he was really struggling, when in reality he had nothing. That's the brilliance of this magic, and it's what makes the viewer believe it. Not the technique, which he did 2 hours ago, but that specific moment. And now, how did Pablo and I do the end of that routine? Well, it is a classic technique used in the ambitious routine, where a card, for example, the 6 of hearts, keeps rising. Then you start creating tension around that card, which will be your sun, the place where everyone will focus. Moreover, your body is in that relaxed and natural 45-degree position that we talked about, forward from the spectators without fear of having to hide anything, but completely exposed so they can focus here, come closer, and not lose sight of that card. The moment they lose it, the moment of maximum attention, you simply relax the hand. We would be standing and it would relax. And there, I grab the card that I have already changed. Here is really the spectator's card, and I have all the time in the world to fold it and put it in my mouth while everyone is paying attention here. And here again, the important thing is not the technique, it's that diversion of attention thanks to the advice we've learned from Juan Tamariz. So if you want to learn this type of theoretical concepts, but in a practical way, explained so that you can apply it to your magic and completely improve, I am sharing it completely free in a new project called Magicgram, and you have the link in the description. It is a free newsletter where on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'll talk to you about a concept, giving you a very concrete idea for each day, so you can apply it directly to your magic. Just like what you just saw here, you will have it every week in your email for free. So if you're interested, you can go to magicgram.com, which is a project we're preparing for the future, and I'll talk to you about it. So I hope you liked it and see you very soon. Bye-bye.